Welcome to the Elite Network Talk Show. I am Minnie Fox, and I'm really extremely excited today to have one of Las Vegas' own talented performers. And when I say talented, I mean far beyond the norm of what an average person would consider talented. Here in Las Vegas, music is always the heart of the king. And when you have a heart, but you put a king in there, you're doing something really, really special. So I don't really want to give it away, but I'm going to introduce to you a live performance artist that has taken Las Vegas by storm, and he took time to come and grace us today. So help me to welcome Frankie Castro, the heart of the king.
Oh, thank you, darling.
Welcome, Frankie. How you doing?
I am doing just fine. I'd like to say that I am honored to be here with you. I want to let everybody know what they already know. And I say you are an incredible talent. And from the moment I saw you, perform, you can act, sing, dance, and I just think you're great.
Thank you, Frankie. I appreciate that. I'm going to shed some light on you and let everybody know who you are. I wanted you to come on the show for my entertainment category because you've done some phenomenal performances here in Las Vegas.
Yes, ma'am. As
the heart of the king. And everybody, if you don't know the heart of the king, what it means, that's Elvis Presley. Come on, let's wake up. This is Las Vegas. And we know that Elvis and Priscilla got married at the Little White Chapel, and that became the most famous wedding chapel here in Las Vegas. Still today, they got drive-by weddings and the whole thing that they
actually, it was actually the Aladdin hotel where they actually got married. And it's where Planet Hollywood stands right now, actually. May 1st of 67.
Isn't that interesting?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. But the Little White Chapel likes to take a lot of credit for that. So they got Elvis up there dancing and moving around on the little sign.
Yeah.
But it's pretty interesting. So, Frankie, before we talk all about Elvis and the fact that I know that you're an amazing #1 Elvis fan, because I've seen some of your paraphernalia that you have of his. Your daughter, your beautiful daughter, her name is Graceland, which is an amazing take on life. I want to start there, actually. Tell us how you decided to come up with her name being Graceland in dedication to Elvis.
I always said that if I had a boy, that I would want to name him Elvis. But there's always a lot of pressure, when you name your child Elvis. When we found out she was going to be a little girl, I said to myself, I've got to figure out something, that I could pay honor to him. So we chose Graceland. In the South, the D is silent. And phonetically, Graceland is pronounced Graceland. However, Elvis never pronounced it Graceland. It was the D is silent in the South. So it's pronounced Gracelyn. So her name is spelled Gracelyn. And her middle name is Marie, after Elvis's daughter's middle name. So Graceland Marie.
Graceland Marie, that is absolutely beautiful.
That is Princess, the apple of his eye, and she means everything to me.
Oh, that is so sweet. Actually, I'm a daddy's girl too. And,
we talked about that.
And you're Graceland, and I have a little thing in common, but I have an A on my Marie, which makes me a Maria, but still I got love for her because we're all good.
That's right. Yes. Right. That middle name is pretty, Maria. I've always loved that name.
Yes, Frankie. So here in Las Vegas, there's so many venues around.
Sure.
What do you think how Las Vegas is evolving to those that are doing the shows like you? And we don't want to call them impersonator shows. I hate when they say that. But when you're doing a tribute, I like to say, to a particular artist, whether they are still alive or not, it takes a certain person to be able to feel that that love and that passion for who it is they're portraying. As you know, I do Tina Turner, and I love Tina. I don't have the legs as sexy as hers, but I got beautiful legs nonetheless. But just to be able to stand in the middle of a stage, and after your biggest performance, and you're just kind of standing there in awe, and the women are screaming. What does that feel like? Yes, I've been to your shows. I've seen that.
The first thing that I always want people to feel about my show, from the moment I come on stage to the moment that I'm done, I always want them to feel the true love that I have for Elvis. Elvis was such a great guy. He was such a humble man, and he adored people. He loved his fans. Absolutely loved his fans. So my take on it is, yeah, it feels good that they're cheering and it feels good that maybe they're yelling, but at the same time, if I can leave those people saying, I liked Frankie Castro, I always tell them, but you would have loved Elvis Presley. So, yeah, I know they're yelling and screaming and it feels good, but I also know that they're yelling and screaming because maybe I'm doing something right that puts him and sheds the light on him that he truly deserves. I always tell folks, what I do is like a billionth with a B. It's a billionth of what that man did on stage. So when people say, hey, you were great, you did a great show, I always deflect back and go, if you thought that was a great show, you can't imagine what the real guy was like. You know, so I always think like that, always. You know, so.
That's pretty wonderful.
But I do enjoy the yelling and the screaming. I ain't gonna lie about it. You know.
And you are a huge fan. You got all this different paraphernalia that I've seen you have. But look, when you were a little boy, can you remember the first time you actually performed? Just as a little boy, you think you did something? What'd you do?
Yes. When my family found out that I did Elvis and that I was trying to get into Elvis, they realized I was a big fan. We would have family get-togethers, family reunions, and when the word got out that I was trying to do Elvis, they all egged me on. We would do once a month family shows, and I was the entertainment. And so my first shows were with my family reunions back in New York. I'm originally from New York, and I used to put on 20-minute shows for him and do the whole thing and play with his records playing in the back, singing to the records.
You love singing?
So I ain't gonna lie. I mean, if when family members up there going nuts for you, no matter how bad or good you are, they're going crazy for you. It feels good. And I got my first taste by performing for family.
Okay.
And then I won the blinding Bye Bye Birdie thing, and so it got better after that.
So Bye Bye Birdie was the first song?
Bye Bye Birdie was the first public gig that I wound up getting. And I remember, it was a funny story. My music teacher, she called my parents in after the third. We were supposed to be a 1-week run, and it turned into a full month. Okay, and that turned into like an extra 2 weeks. But I remember she said, you should try and see if you can get into music school. And that was a great experience because they went crazy. They really went crazy. And entertainers like yourself, you know what I'm talking about. Once you feel that, once that adrenaline, and once that seeps into your blood, that whole feel for the audience, and they're really enjoying what you're doing, it's addictive. It's addictive because you really, really, I love performing, and I love to feel that when I get it, so I don't always get it, but when I do, I enjoy it.
So you got started really early.
I did.
You really did.
Yeah, I did.
And you know what's so cool about you is that when I see you, you're Elvis all the time. I don't care if you got on a pair of jeans and a t-shirt, he is Elvis all day long. And tell us, what era of Elvis do you actually perform when you're doing your shows?
When folks come into town and they want to hire an Elvis, or they want to hire myself, usually it's the concert version, the jumpsuit version that people do want,
Okay.
It's more or less the image that people have of him. But you've got the Golden May 50s Elvis, you've got Army Elvis with the GI Blues type thing, you've got the black leather comeback Elvis. I get that requested a lot.
Do you have a black leather comeback Elvis?
I do have a black leather comeback Elvis. Black top, black bottom, and I try not to wear it in the summer.
Oh, wonderful. Well, look, what we're going to do in just a moment, we're going to go to a commercial break.
Yes, ma'am. And
when we come back, we're going to see Frankie Castro as the heart of the king and give us a little taste of that era that he performs as Elvis. And we'll be right back after this message.